His father just got killed last week. Stop. Charlestown's his dad. Stop.
Y'all just killed my daddy though. Y'all just killed my daddy though. Y'all just killed my daddy though. Let me go, bro. Why y'all got me in handcuffs? I don't got nothing on me, bro.
Okay. We're just figuring out what's going on.
On February 20th, 2023, Pasadena police officers encountered a mother and her two sons arguing on a public street near department headquarters. The family had lost their father to a fatal shooting by Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies just 4 weeks prior. Officers physically detained all three, handcuffing them. No one was arrested. No citations were issued. Yet force was used. This raises fundamental constitutional questions.
Stop. Stop. He's just... So what? Let them do that. What they gonna do to this? Because they keep doing stupid shit.
You give me, Annie, give me a head up when I see him.
Go in the house.
Head up when I see him.
On God.
Head up when I see him.
Because I'm gonna hurt you.
Move, mom. Head up when I see him. Head up. It's on when I see him. Heads up when I see him. It's up when I see him.
Is this your son?
These are my sons.
Okay.
Why you have him drop you off right there, nigga? He knows what time it is.
Hey, hey. 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 Walk that way.
I don't have to do shit. This my little brother. I don't have to do shit. This my little brother. Oh God, I shouldn't even talk to you. You just killed my dad. So get the fuck out of my face. Oh God, I shouldn't even talk to you niggas. Y'all just killed my. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You're in my face. You're in my face. Dude, what are you doing?
Watch out, bro.
He's wrong. You're wrong. You're handling it wrong. His father just got killed last week. Stop. Charlestown's his dad. Stop. Get your watch commander out here. Get your watch commander out here. Get your watch commander out here. No, I'm not.
What's hiding him, bro?
Dude,
Y'all just killed my dad, bro. Watch out.
Alright, so relax.
Are you fucking serious?
Nah, bro.
Are you serious?
Ma'am, listen.
No.
Listen.
This ain't right.
Ma'am.
This is look at how they doing my kids.
Okay.
My safety, tag.
Dude.
Hey.
Why y'all West Commanders? Y'all just killed my daddy though. Y'all just killed my daddy though.
Wait, give me the sergeant out here.
Hey.
Get me. Okay. It's really on now.
Why, bro?
Oh God, it's on. Look at how he's aggressive with me. And
Mom.
I'm trying to tell him,
Mom.
dude, stop doing me.
You don't see me spinning. What are you doing? Bro, I'm not even spinning.
Wait, give me the sergeant out here. Give me. Okay, it's really on now. I'll tell y'all. Oh God, it's on. Look at how he's aggressive with me. And I'm trying to tell him, dude, stop doing me like that. No, they know you got me. I'm not the one that's, look, these are my kids. Let go of my kids.
That's how y'all gonna do me? That's how y'all gonna do me, bro?
What are you talking about?
Under the Fourth Amendment, any seizure of a person must be supported by either probable cause to arrest or at minimum reasonable, articulable suspicion of criminal activity, as established in Terry v. Ohio. Here, officers observed a verbal family dispute. California Penal Code Section 415 addresses disturbing the peace requiring fighting unreasonable noise or words likely to provoke immediate violence. A heated argument between siblings at 3 in the morning may constitute a noise disturbance. However, a noise complaint does not authorize a physical takedown and handcuffing of all parties present. The Supreme Court in Graham v. Connor established a 3-part test for evaluating police use of force. Courts examine the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat, and whether the suspect is actively resisting or fleeing. Applied here, the crime at issue was a verbal argument. No weapons were displayed. No officer was physically threatened. Carlos Towns was not attempting to flee. The use of a physical takedown fails to all 3 prongs of the Graham analysis. The family's verbal protests throughout the encounter are protected under the First Amendment. In City of Houston v. Hill, the Supreme Court held that profanity and hostile language directed at officers constitute protected speech. Barsha Knox's statement that the officer should not be on the streets and her declared intent to report his conduct are textbook examples of constitutionally protected criticism of law enforcement.
Y'all just searched me.
Relax.
We're working.
Relax.
You need medical attention?
Huh?
You need medical attention?
I think so, bro, cause my wrist been fractured, nigga.
You need the paramedics?
No, bro, I don't.
Okay.
Y'all just killed my daddy though. Let me go, bro. Why y'all got me in handcuffs? I don't got nothing on me, bro.
Okay. We're just figuring out what's going on. That's all.
That's cold, bro. That's mad. Bro, come on, let me go.
Are you going to relax?
Yes, let me go.
No, because this one right here was the aggressive one.
You're getting aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. You know why? No, don't sit here and back the story up now. Don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm definitely letting them know that. Because you shouldn't be on the streets. Straight up. He shouldn't be on the streets. He shouldn't be on the streets. And I'm definitely letting no boy know. Wait, give me my AirPods and my phone. I'm definitely. What am I getting in the car for? I haven't even done
Over
shit.
here. You go over there.
This my fault.
Negative.
I ain't gonna lie, it's my fault. I'll
What
tell
is it?
y'all what
Yeah.
y'all want to hear.
What's happened?
So what's
Let
going
my
on?
brother go. He ain't do nothing. I ran up on my brother.
Why did
My
you
brother
run up on
got.
your brother? Why?
I ran up on my brother because I had something. It's not your business. Sir, bro. Come on, bro.
California Penal Code Section 148 makes it a misdemeanor to willfully resist or obstruct a peace officer performing lawful duties. The critical qualifier is lawful. If the initial detention and use of force were themselves unlawful, then any resistance by the subjects cannot constitute a violation of Section 148. The officer must be acting within legal authority for the statute to apply. Supervisory liability is also at issue. Under Meredith versus Erath, the Ninth Circuit held that officers have an affirmative duty to intervene when they observe a fellow officer using excessive force. Sergeant Blanchard was present during the encounter. The federal lawsuit alleges he watched the use of force without intervening, exposing him to personal liability under Title 42, Section 1983. Officer Crutchfield, a probationary officer, intervened by positioning herself between Officer Palacios and the handcuffed Knox. She was subsequently placed on administrative leave and investigated, raising serious concerns about retaliation.
Hold on, bro. What are you doing?
Someone's in that car.
Hold on. Excuse me. Excuse me, hold on. Can I tell y'all what happened?
Yeah, after you have a seat.
Hold on, bro.
Have a seat.
Can you fix the handcuffs, though?
After you have a seat, get your feet in.
Let me put my feet in, nigga. Wait. Nigga. Where my phone at?
Don't worry about it. So what's going on? Why are you fighting with your brother?
Bro, because I had an altercation with my brother, bro. I got anger issues, bro. It's something me and my brother have personally going on.
Uh-huh.
I haven't even done shit. What am I getting in the car for? Wait a minute. What am I getting in the car for?
Crutchfield, go back to station.
I'm definitely letting no boy know.
I'll put it in my car.
Definitely. I don't know what to do. Definitely.
Crutchfield, station now.
Because he's definitely aggressive. I'm definitely letting no boy know. Because he needs community policing. That's fine. No, that's fine. I'm being detained, right?
I'm gonna grab your stuff right now.
Hey, ma'am, what's your name?
Take me, if I'm being detained, right? Take me to the station, I guess.
Well, we gotta figure out what's going on.
Look, it's fine. She said I'll
Personally going on, bro.
Where do you guys live?
We live right here. Yeah, thank you.
So what started the argument?
Bro, it's none of your business. Something about my father, bro.
It is my business when you're fighting in public.
Alright, well, can I please get out?
After you tell me what's going on.
I just told you, bro.
What
Me and my
started
brother
it? Okay, what started it?
Altercation. I woke up. I started it, bro. I just told you. I came out, bro. I ran up on my brother. I got anger issues, bro.
Okay. Did this happen here or this happened
It's
in the
happened right
apartment?
here, bro. Right here.
Okay.
Is my brother good? Can I get out?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But y'all know
So
what
you
time
don't
it
need the paramedics or anything?
I don't.
I'm going.
I think my hand broke, bro. I think I broke my wrist.
Do you need a
bro.
paramedic?
No, I think I broke my wrist, bro.
Right.
Damn, I ain't good, bro.
Can you just step by there? Or him?
The outcome itself undermines the justification for force. When investigating officers conclude that no criminal conduct occurred and release all parties without charges, the legal basis for the preceding force evaporates. A federal civil rights lawsuit was filed under Section 1983, alleging excessive force false arrest assault and battery and unreasonable seizure. The plaintiffs demanded a jury trial. Officer Ralph Palacios receives a D. The force used was disproportionate under Graham v. Connor. A verbal family dispute did not warrant a physical takedown. His prior negative encounter with the family raises impartiality concerns. Sergeant Thomas Blanchard receives a D+. His failure to intervene during the use of force violates his duty under Meredith v. Erath. Ordering officers to separate afterward was insufficient. Officer Jared Bledsoe receives a C+. His initial response was procedurally sound, but he failed to implement de-escalation techniques appropriate for a grief-driven situation. Carlos Towns receives a B+. He cooperated with officers, took responsibility for the argument, invoked his rights, and pursued legal remedies through federal court rather than escalation. The minor CT2 receives a C. His hostile behavior escalated tension, but he is a child who lost his father to police violence 4 weeks earlier. Adult standards of composure do not apply. Barsha Knox receives a B. Her verbal protests are constitutionally protected. She did not physically resist and pursued accountability through proper legal channels. This incident offers 3 critical lessons. First, grief is not a crime. Officers encountering families in acute trauma must prioritize de-escalation over control. Force escalates grief into crisis. Second, outcomes reveal intent. When officers use force but file no charges and make no arrests, they effectively concede that no criminal conduct justified their actions. The force becomes its own violation. Third, the duty to intervene is not optional. Supervisors who witness excessive force and fail to act share liability. Officer Crutchfield intervened and faced retaliation. The system punished the right decision. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on police court interactions.